let's do this.
A swatter just pleaded guilty to a full list of federal charges, including threats, cyberstalking, and coordinated harassment. That's right, the DOJ brought the hammer down, and it isn't just some slap on the wrist. But with one down, we still got thousands to go. That's coming up next on TiPS, Today in Public Safety.
Welcome to TiPS, Today in Public Safety, your go-to podcast for today's breaking stories and public safety news. Here's your host, Fletch, with today's tips.
Welcome to TiPS, Today in Public Safety. This is Fletch. I'm a certified NETA ENP, and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday each week, I bring you the latest news and information about public safety and next-generation 911 services and solutions. Today, we're talking about a major move by the U.S. Department of Justice, a federal swatting conviction that could, finally, be tipping the scales to our favor. Okay, here's the rundown. Evan Strauss, a 27-year-old from Monetta, Virginia, just pleaded guilty to a laundry list of federal charges related to swatting and online harassment. Now, these weren't just minor charges. They were cyberstalking, interstate threats, bomb threats, and doxing, all coordinated through encrypted apps like Telegram and Instagram. Strauss was part of a group called Purgatory. And no, that's not just edgy branding. It was an organized digital gang that was focused on coordinated cyber harassment campaigns. Think targeted threats, fake emergency calls, and lives thrown into chaos just for sport. Now, let's be clear here. This isn't just some kid in a basement who was playing Call of Duty and called 911 on his buddy because he got fragged. This is just downright digital terrorism. And here's why it matters. Because finally, the feds are treating it like it is. The case was handled by DOJ's Maryland office, but it involved coordination across multiple jurisdictions. Really, the only way to get these cases cracked. Why? Well, let's face it, the people doing this aren't calling from down the block. They're bouncing their VoIP calls across the continents. This is exactly what we need more of. You see, swatting is no longer some fringe problem. It's a tool that's used by cyber extortionists who punish people for not paying up on ransoms. Radicalized groups that are targeting journalists, schools, and politicians, along with the gamers, trolls, and creeps trying to get their 15 minutes of infamy at someone else's expense. But who pays the price? Well, you do. Your PSAP does. And so do first responders risking their lives chasing these things down. But worst of all, the real emergencies sit in the queue, all because someone decided to LARP as a terrorist with a keyboard. So federal action like this sends a strong message. But we need more than just headlines. What we need is consistent enforcement, and we need it across all states. We need shared threat intelligence between ECCs and law enforcement. And we need federal funding for training and AI-based swatting detection. And of course, yes, we need real consequences that stick. Because here's the thing, if you're going to swat someone, there should be no anonymity, no safe harbor, and no second chances. So hats off to the DOJ and the FBI on this one. Evan Strauss will now have a long time to think about his online persona. And do that in a very real offline setting for about 15 years. But until the rest of his network is shut down, we still need to be on the defense. So let's keep that pressure up. That wraps up this episode of TiPS, Today in Public Safety. I hope the podcast was educational for you and you learned something new. If you like what you heard today, drop a like and be sure to tell your friends. And don't forget to leave a comment and let us know. If you've got any questions or want to suggest a topic of your own, just reach out to me on social media at Fletch911. Who knows? Maybe your idea will be the topic of a future podcast. This is Fletch. Thanks so much for listening. And if you're in public safety, thanks for what you do every single day. Stay safe. Take care.
You've been listening to TiPS, Today in Public Safety, your go-to podcast for today's breaking stories and public safety news. Hosted by Fletch and available every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on 911tips.com. That's 911tips.com. Be sure to like and subscribe, and remember to join us each week for the latest on NG 911. I am Spider Harrison, the official 911 voiceover dude. Catch me on Sirius XM on various channels, including 90s on 9, the 10 spot, and on the Weekend Countdown on Hits 1. Or don't regret it for the rest of your life. Either way, I'm good.